Welcome back for a new top 10 list. This time we are checking out, we've been doing mostly just vintage and stuff packs so far, or rather cards for Magic. This time we are checking out a more modern set. We are checking out 10 of my personal, but this time it's not strictly rares, it's going to be all specifically my top 10 favorite cards from Bloomburrow, which is arguably a lot of people's favorite set of last year. These, but is a mixture, so let me know in the future if you'd like me to do an actual top 10 favorite rares for the set as well. But with that said, expect a major theme going on with most of my favorites. First up, two honorable mentions. First up, we have a blue instant that only costs 1 mana to bring out, and target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until end of turn. Untap it. It can't be targeted of spells or abilities your opponent controls. So yeah, given what it can do, and the fact it only costs 1 blue to bring out, this is very good in a tight spot. And this is a card that frankly I recommend for people who play, of course, Pauper. This is a great card really for standard commander, but especially for Pauper or Pauper commander. With that said, next up we have my other runner-up, a uncommon land, Rockface Village, which is actually, I think, a somewhat underrated land from the set. Tap, you gain 1 colorless ore. Tap, add 1 red mana. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. Or, spend 1 red mana and tap. Target lizard, mouse, otter, or raccoon you control gets +1/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. This is legit really good, especially if you specifically are interested in, like it states, either a lizard, mouse, or otter type creature, as well as raccoon. My personal favorite, though, creature in this set is easy. Otters. Otters are my Asian small claw otters, are probably one of my favorite animals of all time. With that said, coming in for set number 10. Speaking of otters, a otter that costs 3 mana total, doesn't matter if it's red or blue since it's half-half. It's a 2/2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Tempest Angler. But yeah, this is legit, and this is easily probably my top 2 favorite otter cards in the set, at least in artwork. I think this looks just gorgeous. Admittedly, I'm biased when it comes to otters. Coming at number 9 is another, costs 2 mana, 1 blue, 1 red to bring out. It's a 1/1, uncommon, has haste and prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets a +1/+1 until end of turn. Instant or sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So yeah, it's the 1 less to cast part that makes this card really good to have. I could see this card being really big, honestly, I could see it possibly as an interesting commander in maybe a Pauper commander deck. Or in a regular commander deck. This is definitely a legit good card. And for 2 mana, I think it's more than worth it. Coming in next at number 8. Another little otter. This time, one that only costs 1 colorless and 1 red. Offspring, which costs 2. You may pay an additional 2 as you cast this spell. If you do, when this creature enters, create a 1/1 token copy of it. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. So this card could be very useful in Commander, specifically I would say is one of the best. Legit, some of really the best cards in this set are uncommons, in my opinion. And in general, I think that really the otters really play well off of each other in this set. Coming in next at number 7 is a specific spell that works obviously really well. Otter Ball Antics. Sorcery, uncommon, costs 2 to bring out. Create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with Prowess. If this spell has cast from anywhere other than your hand, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Whenever you cast a non-creature, of course, it's the info on Prowess. And then also for 4 mana, Flashback. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it. It is legit very useful in tight spot. As long as you're playing with an obvious theme deck, which, since I love otters so much, is why I've been slowly trying to put together a red-blue deck to revolve around otters. Obviously, though, it's going to be standard, about a 40-card deck. With that said, coming in next at number 6. This time, though, Valley Flood Caller. Costs 3 mana, bring out, of course, a rare. It has Flash. You may cast non-creature spells through they had Flash. Whenever you cast non-creature spell, birds, frogs, otters, or rats you control get +1/+1 until end of turn, untap them. Another good otter card that really plays off of other otters. Obviously, otters dominate my Bloomburrow top 10 list. Speaking of, coming in at number 5. Yes, Otter Ball Elite, which is actually mythic, but not very valuable, unfortunately. Costs 2 mana to bring out. Vigilance is one of the big things for this. In fact, it's a 1/3 decent defense for 2 mana. Plus it has Prowess. Also, draw a card, discard a card. That can be useful in a tight spot. Also tap 2, or rather tap it, and then also tap 2 mana. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new target for the copy. Activate only if power is 3 or greater. So yeah, thanks to the copy ability as well as the discard ability is what really helps this card out. Coming in at number 4. Thundertrap Trainer. Costs 2 mana, it's a 1/2. Also, tap 4 mana, Offspring. Of course, you may pay an additional 4 as you cast this spell. If you do, when this creature enters, create a 1/1 token copy of it. When this creature enters, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck, or rather library, in any random order. Definitely another really good one that costs very little. As a great thing about most of the otters are very cheap to put out, so it's easy to build up basically a force of otters relatively quick, as long as you have multiple copies, but luckily in standard you can have up to 4. Definite advantage. I would say this card works better probably in standard than, say, Commander. Coming in at number 3. It's rare a Planeswalker isn't my favorite, but I have to mention this. Crackling Wit. Cost 2 colorless, a blue and red. Has 4 automatically coming out. Whenever cast a non-creature spell, put a loyalty counter on this. You get +1, create a blue and red otter creature token. You get bonus if you subtract 3 points, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. Very useful. And the big one, -10, draw 3 cards, you get an emblem with instant and sorcery spells you cast. Have Storm. This is legit very good. It would make really a good commander. I could see this being very useful in a commander deck. Definitely, though, predominantly revolving around otters, obviously. Or, if you want to add another creature type along with it. Here's one of the biggies, though. If you're doing an otter deck, coming at number 2. Storm Chaser's Talent. Very nice. Bring out for 1 blue mana. First up, when Storm Chaser's Talent enters, create a 1/1 blue-red otter creature token with Prowess. Tap 4 to go to level 2. When this class becomes level 2, return target instant or sorcery card from the graveyard to your hand. And then 6 mana for level 3. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 blue otter creature token with Prowess. So yeah, very good at building up your forces very quickly. That is where this card really comes into play. Now, unfortunately, you get to level 3. Yeah, you definitely have to end up having a lot of mana, but luckily, it only requires 1 blue and the rest any color. But definitely very useful for building up your forces quick. However, coming in at number 1 really shouldn't be a surprise to many people, given how good it is. 3 Tree City. Legendary land. As 3 Tree City enters, choose a creature type. Tap for 1 colorless. Tap 2 mana and tap this. Choose a color, add an amount of mana of that color equal to the number of creatures you control of the chosen type, which obviously would be otters. This is definitely very useful. You definitely want to have minimal 1 of these in your deck. In standard, luckily, you can have more than 1, but still very useful, and it helps build up with the otter forces. But yeah, that is it. That is my top 10 favorite cards from Bloomburrow. With that said, I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. Music in the background, by the way, comes from Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. See y'all again soon enough. Stay safe out there.